March 1958. Helen Devries carefully removed her nurse's cap, fluffing her platinum back-combed bouffant, crackling the aquanet lacquering it in place. On the television in the back of the living room, Elvis offered a flirty smile and almost a wink as he was measured for his uniform. "You're in the Army now, young man. Good for you. I hope serving your country won't take your life." She turned up the volume against the evening's emptiness, just before the phone startled awake, eclipsing the low hum of the TV. She was rarely invited to the party line. 2 short rings and 1 long requested Johanna Jansen, the Dutch woman on the farm behind hers. 4 short bursts summoned the old man with the chickens, whose cackles sounded like giggles or moans. 3 short, 1 long reached out to her supervisor, Captain Adams, and his icy wife. 2 long rings, 3 short. Helen hesitantly moved toward the phone. It sat upon a small table next to the window overlooking the unused canning shed, set in a field sleepy with wet weeds splayed against the ground like closed eyelashes. Licorice rope phone lines stretched toward the farmhouse. 4 birds convened on the line, silhouetted by the outdoor lights she'd had installed for safety. 2 long rings, 3 short. 1 bird cocked his head and looked directly at her. "Are you going to answer?" Helen reached for the receiver. "Hello?" "Hello, is this Mrs. Helen Devries?" A lady's voice queried, her tone undergirded by strain and slightly nasal, as if spoken by someone who'd been crying. "The wife of Lieutenant Bob Devries?" "Yes, this is Mrs. Helen Devries." "I am sorry to bother you at this hour. I am Choi Eunhee, wife of Chief James Roy." Helen shuffled through her memories. "Hello, Mrs. Roy. Am I right to think that your husband served with my husband?" "Yes, in South Korea, where I am from and where we married. My husband told me that he served many years with your husband, and that if I were ever in trouble, I should contact him as he would help me." Helen's fatigue lifted and the sound of the news in the background faded. "Are you in trouble?" "Yes." Helen steadied herself. "I'm honored that Chief Roy thinks so highly of my husband, but my husband can't help you. He was killed 2 years ago." "My husband is also dead." Silence bled into the white space of the moment, and then she continued. "They whisper that I helped kill him, that I might help kill them too." A gasp wheezed across the party line. Helen lit a cigarette to calm herself. After inhaling and then resting it on a hammered silver ashtray, she said, "Our phones out here are all on party lines. There is the possibility that others are listening." "Ah, I see." Distress colored Mrs. Roy's voice. A moment elapsed before Helen spoke again. "How can I help?" Bob would want her to help the wife of his old friend and comrade. "Could we speak in private?" Helen nudged the cigarette and a long pencil of ash fell freely into the tray before she put the hotter, shortened smoke to her lips. She could certainly offer advice, comfort, and occasional companionship as the widow made her way through the system. Maybe Helen would invite her for coffee and to chat once in a while until Mrs. Roy left the base for good, as most widows did. Unless Choi Eunhee was detained, of course, for involvement in her husband's death. "Yes, we can do that. I'll help however I can." Even as she said it, Helen sensed she'd committed to something far deeper than coffee and companionship. Mrs. Roy told her where she was currently living, on base, in a tiny compound with other enlisted personnel and their wives, with little privacy and no car, so they agreed Helen would pick her up the next day and bring her to her home. After Mrs. Roy hung up, Helen stayed on the line for a moment, listening. A baby cried. A rough male voice barked, "Foreigners," followed by an abrupt click.